Have you ever wondered what truly happens to your soul the moment you drift into sleep? What if the dream world isn't just a product of your brain, but an actual realm your spirit visits every single night? There exists an ancient source, long forgotten and deliberately buried, that details this hidden journey. A text so dangerous in its truth that it was silenced by the powerful to keep you from ever knowing who you truly are. This isn't a video for skeptics chained to the physical world. This is for the seekers, the ones who know there's more, who feel it in their bones. Tonight, we open the door to what lies beyond sleep. But before we take that step, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. What we reveal here isn't shared on your regular news feed, and once you know, you'll never see your dreams the same way again. Have you ever realized how every night when you fall asleep, the entire world seems to vanish? Your body stays behind, still and quiet, but your awareness, your essence, slips away. Where does it go? In many ways, sleep is like a quiet rehearsal for the one mystery we all face, death. And this isn't just a poetic metaphor. Ancient civilizations, from the high priests of Egypt to Tibetan monks, wrote extensively about it. They claimed that during sleep the soul detaches from the body and roams through unseen dimensions. To them, sleep wasn't just rest, it was initiation. The Egyptians penned the Book of the Dead as a guide for the soul's journey, and the Tibetans followed with the Bardo. Both texts speak of death not as a final breath, but as a transition. And here's the chilling truth. These cultures believed that each night, as we dream, we're practicing that transition. Our consciousness slips into hidden worlds, some filled with light and peace, others dark and chaotic. If you've ever had a dream so vivid that you could feel the textures, taste the air, or remember entire conversations when you woke up, you might have touched something beyond this reality. Some say that's your soul, preparing itself, learning to break free from the body's grip. What if sleep isn't just rest, but a nightly simulation of death itself, a sacred drill that hints at what lies beyond, or maybe the doorway to something far more mysterious? The Tibetan monks called this mysterious space the Bardo, a liminal zone between life and what follows after. They taught that every time we fall asleep, we pass through this threshold. In that space, beyond time and form, we're met with visions, emotions, and symbols that carry profound meaning. It's there, in that in-between, that the truth of our being begins to surface, not tied to our names, jobs, or earthly roles, but to something deeper, older, eternal. Here's the fascinating part. The Bardo isn't just some abstract mystical idea. It actually behaves like a mirror, reflecting your inner state. If you go to sleep filled with stress, fear, or mental noise, you're likely to enter a Bardo clouded by confusion and darkness. But if you fall asleep calmly, with awareness and intention, it's like unlocking a secret path toward a clearer, more illuminated realm of the soul. In fact, Tibetan monks dedicate their entire lives to becoming conscious inside this state. To them, achieving lucidity in the Bardo is the key to breaking free from the endless cycle of birth and death. And even if that feels far removed from your everyday life, there's something you can do tonight. Just try this. Before bed, sit quietly for 2 minutes, breathe deeply, close your eyes and think, I will remember what truly matters in my dream. Simple words, but they act like a spiritual compass, a small ritual that opens a channel to the conscious Bardo. And what you find there might not just be a dream, it could be the beginning of a deeper awakening. Most people wake up from a dream and casually brush it off. It was just a dream. But what if that's the biggest mistake of all? To the Gnostics, the ancient Egyptians, and modern explorers like Robert Monroe, dreams were never random. They believed that dreams are gateways, temporary escapes from the physical prison we call reality. When you dream, you're not imagining, you're traveling. Think about it. Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid your heart was pounding, your body covered in sweat, or your emotions still raw? That wasn't just brain static. Those are fragments, real impressions, left over from your journey through other dimensions. In the dream world, the soul speaks in symbols and sensations, bypassing logic to reveal truths too deep for the waking mind to decode. And here's something even stranger. These dreams often come with insights, sudden clarity, or inner advice that shifts the way you view your life. Want to start unlocking this hidden language? Place a notebook next to your bed. The moment you wake up, Write down whatever you remember, no matter how bizarre or fragmented. Over time, you'll start to notice recurring themes, symbols, or even whole messages. And one morning you might realize that wasn't just a dream, that was a message from beyond. And what really changes when we start taking these dream messages seriously? Think back. Haven't we all been taught since childhood that dreams are nonsense? We're told they're just random thoughts, meaningless illusions. From school to the media to even some religious teachings, everything is built to make us ignore the dream world. But what if that wasn't just ignorance? What if this cultural amnesia is intentional? Because here's the truth. Remembering your dreams, decoding their symbols, and becoming lucid in them makes you powerful. It gives you awareness, independence, and insight that can't be easily manipulated. People who wake up in their dreams start waking up in life. They question more. They notice what others miss. And that kind of consciousness? It's dangerous to any system built on blind obedience and distraction. So how do they keep you asleep? They flood your days with noise, entertainment, fear, and endless scrolling. They condition you to laugh at your dreams, to forget them, to dismiss that part of yourself. Because if even a small part of you starts to awaken in the night, you might start awakening for real. But you don't have to stay trapped in this cycle. You can swim against the current, starting with one small act. Try this. Put your phone down at least 30 minutes before bed. Don't fill your final moments of the day with endless scrolling or noise. Instead, breathe, reflect, or listen to a calming, guided meditation. This simple ritual begins to undo the subtle programming that's been fed to you since childhood. And as you reclaim this quiet space, something ancient begins to stir, something buried deep, waiting patiently in the shadows of your sleep. Lucid dreaming might sound like something out of a sci-fi film, but it's not fantasy. It's a sacred art. For centuries, Tibetan monks, mystics, and esoteric teachers have used it as a way to awaken within the dream. The principle is elegant and powerful. Once you realize you're dreaming, you can shape the experience. Fly, explore hidden realms, speak to your subconscious, confront your fears, and more importantly, prepare yourself for what lies beyond this life. Picture this. Instead of waking up from a nightmare in fear, you become aware mid-dream and choose to face the darkness. Suddenly the monster isn't an enemy, it's a message. And that fear, it becomes your teacher. Each encounter builds not just bravery, but awareness, presence. In the dream, you begin to respond with clarity instead of panic. You start watching your thoughts like passing clouds. And slowly, that same awareness follows you into the waking world, where the dream never really ends. Want to begin this journey? Start with a simple, powerful habit. Throughout your day, pause and ask yourself, am I dreaming? Do it while looking at your hands, glancing into a mirror, or even trying to push your finger through your palm or walk through a wall. It might feel strange at first, but with repetition, this question seeps into your subconscious. Eventually, you'll ask it in a dream, and in that moment, everything shifts. You realize you're dreaming, and from there, the limits dissolve. But here's the deeper question. If you can wake up inside a dream, can you also wake up inside reality? We've been taught to believe that consciousness is locked inside our skulls, like a soul, trapped in a machine. But what if the truth is reversed? What if your body is actually inside your consciousness? Quantum physics, along with the groundbreaking work of researchers like Robert Monroe, points toward a radical idea that the mind taps into a vast universal field, a cosmic frequency, and during sleep, we tune in. Monroe himself experienced full lucidity outside his body, reporting journeys through realms beyond time and space, where other beings and intelligences existed. He called them vibrational states, and said reaching them was just a matter of adjusting awareness. Like turning the dial on a radio, your focus becomes your frequency. And the beauty of it? You don't need blind belief to access this. You just need awareness, intention, a little daily practice, and the courage to explore what lies beyond the veil. Ready to take the next step? Try this. Explore guided meditations specifically designed for consciousness projection. The Monroe Institute offers powerful ones, and authors like William Buhlman provide step-by-step audio journeys into the out-of-body state. Another powerful practice: complete silence before sleep. No music, no phone. Just sit and listen to your breath. Try to sense where you really are. And sometimes in that stillness, you'll feel it. You're not just inside your body. You're everywhere, like a beam of light stretching across dimensions, simply waiting to be remembered. And those dreams that keep showing up, the ones that repeat over and over again, they're not random. They're not glitches. They're signals. Recurring dreams are your soul banging on the door, trying to deliver a message you've been too distracted to hear. Maybe it's buried trauma. Maybe it's a decision you've been avoiding. Maybe it's a path you're meant to take but keep pushing aside. These dreams aren't accidents. They're echoes of something vital, and they'll keep coming, night after night, until you finally listen. These recurring dreams often come with familiar patterns, a place you visit repeatedly, a figure that seems to follow you, or an emotion that lingers after you wake up. Maybe you dream of being late, constantly rushing, always behind. This could be your mind reflecting a sense of wasted time or missed opportunities in waking life, or perhaps you're falling in your dreams, a symbol of losing control or feeling emotionally unstable. But here's the important truth. These aren't universal rules. Your dreams are deeply personal, like a private language between your soul and your waking self. What truly matters is how you feel inside the dream. That's your unique map to understanding. Want to begin decoding these messages? Start with a simple ritual. When a recurring dream strikes, jot down the strongest impressions, the key words, the sensations, the colors that stand out. Then ask yourself, where do I experience this in my real life? It's in that quiet, reflective moment that the pieces start falling into place. The soul speaks in symbols, and as you begin to listen with intention, the answers become clearer, more distinct. And here's a question most people don't dare ask. If dreams are messages, why do we keep ignoring them? Ever search the meaning of your dream online, only to find generic interpretations like, teeth falling out means death? This approach is like trying to understand a song by reading the sheet music without listening to the melody. Dreams aren't meant to be understood through one-size-fits-all answers. They need to be felt, experienced, and, most importantly, listened to with your heart. Every person has their own unique symbolic vocabulary. For one person, the ocean in a dream might symbolize freedom, while for another, it could represent a fear of drowning, or even a forgotten childhood memory. The soul doesn't communicate in words. It speaks through emotions and vivid, intimate images. And here's the key. To understand your dreams, you need to develop your own personal symbolic dictionary. Think back to the objects that appeared in your dreams, the house, the animal, the strange note. Write everything down. Then take a moment to reflect. How did this make you feel? What memories or emotions did it stir? Often, the meaning lies not in the exact images but in the feelings they evoke. For example, dreaming of a snake might be a sign of betrayal, or it could be pointing to healing, transformation, or a warning about untapped energy within you. One powerful practice is to create your own dream map. Take a notebook and divide it into 3 columns: dream, emotion, and possible meaning. Over time, you'll begin to see patterns emerge that no generic dream book could offer. The truth is, the only real interpreter of your dreams is you. As you develop this understanding, your dreams won't be as confusing anymore. They'll become quiet, guiding forces, pointing you toward deeper truths. And what happens when this lucidity from your dreams spills over into your waking life? Some people think awakening is just about meditating occasionally or reading a spiritual book now and then. But true awakening isn't something that only happens on a meditation cushion. It's about realizing that everything, even the so-called normal parts of life, is just another layer of the grand dream. Here's the key: living with lucidity, both in your nighttime dreams and in your waking life. It's about being present, being conscious, being the author of your own story, not just an actor going through the motions of life. It's easy to fall into autopilot mode, like zoning out during a conversation or driving a route without remembering a single turn you made. Lucid living means waking up to those moments and realizing you have the power to shape them. In a lucid dream, you fly because you understand you can. But in waking life, how often do you realize how much you still can? To begin this process of awakening, practice reality checks throughout your day. Ask yourself, am I truly present right now? Do this while washing dishes, speaking to someone, or walking through your neighborhood. Over time, that presence will start to seep into every moment, until it naturally enters your dreams as well. And then, when you least expect it, you'll realize that you're lucid everywhere, even in places you never imagined. But why don't more people reach this level of awareness? Let's be honest for a moment. Why isn't this taught in schools? You spend years learning quadratic equations, but no one teaches you how to remember your dreams. You memorize historical dates, but not how to interpret the symbols and messages that appear in your deepest sleep. The answer is simple, though uncomfortable. This knowledge wasn't hidden by accident. It was hidden strategically, because when people understand the power of their consciousness, they become dangerously free. And true freedom isn't something the system wants to encourage. Imagine if everyone truly woke up, not just from sleep, but from the illusion of reality itself. What would happen? It would be the end of fear, manipulation, and blind obedience. Those who profit from control understand that lucid individuals are harder to dominate. That's why schools don't teach this, why the media ridicules anyone who talks about dreams, and why religions often prefer that you follow dogma rather than listen to your own soul. Ignorance in this case isn't accidental. It's a tool used to keep the masses complacent and disconnected from their true potential. But now that this knowledge is circulating once more, even if on the fringes, something is beginning to shift. Alternative channels, ancient books, personal experiences, these have all reignited the flame of inner seeking. The more you dive into this invisible world, the more you begin to see the visible with a fresh perspective, as if everything has a deeper meaning you can now access. And who knows, maybe the next step isn't just about remembering what you dream, but discovering where you go when you sleep, and more importantly, why you go there. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think happens to consciousness after the body falls asleep? Have you ever had a dream so vivid that it felt more real than life itself? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read everything, because your experiences could shine a light on the path for others. If this content resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with those who need to wake up for real. And hey, there's already another video on the screen that continues this journey into the invisible. Click on it now to dive even deeper. And of course, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and help this knowledge reach where it's needed most. See you in the next one.